Sitting balance activities are also really important components of your rehab plan for people with spinal cord injury. So it's unfair to expect them to have good dynamic sitting balance. They don't have any trunk if they're somebody with tetraplegia or even paraplegia. Your trunk control comes in low thoracic, but a lot of it is your hip flexors and hip extensors to control your pelvis for balance as well. So part of what people need to learn to do, whether it's long sitting or short sitting, is be able to move their arms and be able to maintain static balance without their arms, but not to be doing reaching sorts of activities. So for example, in short sitting, I could either be in front of Ryan here this whole time, or I could be behind Ryan while he's practicing working on balance activities. Behind is best if he's working on walking his hands backwards, so I'm gonna help him weight shift and bring his arms back. And he's gonna get right about here, this is his tipping point, at which point his body starts to fall past midline. So he has to throw back his arms in time to catch himself. And what typically happens for people early on in the practice is that their arms aren't behind them enough, and they're gonna fall backwards like that. So being behind them allows you to be back here to catch, but you have to be out of the way for their arms to come back. So you can't sit next to them, you need to be behind them. And as they're, so let's transition again, here. So as he starts to walk back, you're getting ready to do a throwback. So I'm gonna help, he'll go part way, and then I'm just gonna make sure it comes back the rest of the way, throw back this side to get triceps, there we go. And from here we can work on the weight shifting and things that you see in Dr. Newman's video. Walking forward, he's got a weight shift, and he uses some biceps and pecs to come forward. Right here now he's getting ready to fall forward, and he's in short sitting, so his hamstrings won't catch him. So as he starts to fall forward, he's also got to bring his hands forward quickly to catch him before he goes off the edge of the bed forward. So my role as the therapist from behind is to always be monitoring his trunk, stay out of his way, and help him position his hands. If I'm in the front, hold on, it helps Ryan feel a lot safer to practice coming forward with his hands, but I worry about him falling backwards, so I can place a wedge with some pillows behind him, so that if he would do a throwback unsuccessfully as he's working on walking backwards, and I'm not able to catch him, at least he's gonna land on a mat and he feels safer practicing. But sometimes if it's too wide, that gets in the way. So depending on what you're working on, if you're working on unsupported sitting, so can you pick up one hand? There you go, just work on balance a little bit. So the other side, pick up this hand a little bit, good job. Now, do you think that you could find that balance point and pick up both hands, and then people just try to use their head? Yep, oh, good job. So that was too far forward, come back a little bit, probably right about there. Pick up your hands, good, use your head, good job. So now I'm ready, go ahead and put your hands back down. I'm happy to do that from the front. I'm standing, I've got my hands behind and in front very quickly and very easily. The one thing I like to be behind for, again, is that walk back or throw back when people are trying to practice that falling forward versus falling back feeling and how to catch themselves. So you'll spend a lot of time working on this to help build confidence and help people learn their stability limits.